She could have been anything she wanted to be. And she got mixed up with the wrong people.
Now at 11, a grieving mother demands justice for her girls after a crash killed one daughter and injured the other. Plus, running into controversy, why Portland Public Schools is now under a federal investigation. And later, in fear of being forced out, dozens of longtime tenants grapple with being told their homes could soon be sold. Thanks for joining us. I'm Christine Pitawanich. We start with Portland Public Schools, now under a federal investigation. It all stems from a transgender student athlete competing in girls' track and field meets. Alma McCarty is in the newsroom with the update. Alma, what can you tell us about the investigation?
Well, Christine, the Department of Education's Office for Civil Rights launched the investigation against both PPS and Oregon School Activities Association. The feds are accusing them of violating Title IX protections.
On Tuesday, the superintendent for Oregon's largest school district got word that the U.S. Department of Education opened an investigation into both PPS and the OSAA, following a complaint made to the Office for Civil Rights. Federal officials say a transgender student athlete competed both this year and last in girls' track and field meets and argue that's a violation of Title IX, a federal law that prohibits discrimination on the basis of sex in any federally funded education program. Craig Traynor, acting assistant secretary for civil rights, said in a statement they will use every lawful means to ensure that no female athlete is denied equal athletic opportunities or robbed of her rightful accolades. OSAA told KGW they are consulting with legal counsel on how to respond. Dr. Kimberly Armstrong, PPS's superintendent, said they're also working with legal and state partners to navigate the issue, stating the district is in full compliance with Oregon state law, which may differ from federal guidance. She also stressed, quote, "My commitment and our district's commitment to doing what's right for all students, especially those most vulnerable, remains unwavering." Some state Republicans applauded the move, including Representative Christine Drazen, who wrote in a statement, treating every student with dignity, safety, and respect means defending fair competition in women's sports.
Now, this all stems from a Trump executive order last month aimed at keeping transgender women and girls out of female sports. Schools that don't comply risk losing federal funding. So far, no school has had funding pulled over the issue, but several other schools nationwide are also under investigation. Christine?
Alma McCarty reporting from the newsroom for us. Thank you for your reporting, Alma. Okay, live look downtown Portland is what you're seeing on your screen. Beautiful shot from our Wells Fargo Skycam. 63 degrees, a drop from earlier today when we actually hit 80 degrees, if you can believe it. As you can imagine, the beautiful weather brought lots of people out to soak up some of the sun. We checked out the Happy Valley Skate Park, where kids were scooting and skating all over, enjoying their spring break. And for many people, Laurelhurst Park in Southeast Portland was the perfect picnic spot.
Today means the seasonal depression is over and I get to be tan, my freckles come out, and vitamin D. It means I get to wear short sleeves and be happy again.
Oh man, this is awesome. I know we get great summers here, but when it peaks through in the spring, it's great.
Yes, it is. Daisy Caballero is in for Matt Safino tonight. Daisy, it was a record-breaking day.
Yeah, I did confirm with the National Weather Service that we did officially hit 80 degrees, officially tying the warmest day ever in the month of March. So of course, yes, and as you can see here, it is updated last check. So 79 degrees over in Scappoose for a daytime high. Also the case over in Hillsborough, 78 for Aurora. In the 60s and 70s along the Oregon coast. So it was a pretty nice day all around for everyone. So once again, we did shatter this previous record that was set for nearly 60 years. That was a temperature of 74 degrees. And kind of put it into perspective, the average high for this time of the year is 58 degrees, Christine. But as you mentioned, yes, 64 degrees last check out at PDX. Those winds are calm. And the rest of our current temperatures, we're already down to the 50s in parts like Hillsborough, King City, Also for boring, and into the low 50s for parts of the Oregon coast as well. So there's a lot of changes coming ahead. We also have a weather impact alert day for the chance for us to see severe thunderstorms tomorrow between 3 and 10 o'clock. We'll talk more about this in my full forecast. Back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Daisy. New tonight, it's Oregon lawmakers' latest effort to change how we change our clocks. And a bill that passed the Senate today is very open-ended. Catherine Cook is here with us now. So, Catherine, how does this work compare to other bills?
Well, Christine, back in 2019, lawmakers passed a bill allowing for permanent daylight saving time in Oregon if California and Washington were to join in. This bill includes 2 other time standard options, while remaining focused on West Coast unity.
Senate Bill 1038 relating to standards of time.
On Oregon's Senate floor,
let's stop switching time.
The latest bill about our clocks.
Let's go to one or the other.
Sprang forward Tuesday, passing 18-11.
You want to be in sync with the other Pacific time zone states.
Bill sponsor Senator Kim Thatcher says that's what SB 1038 is really about. Ensuring the clocks in Oregon, Washington, and California always match, no matter how things change in time. Whether that's moving to permanent daylight saving, permanent standard, or sticking with twice-yearly clock changes.
I can't say which one of these would happen, but I do know that this bill gives us the highest percentage chance of ditching the switch. But which switch to ditch is going to be up to some other entities outside of our control.
For one, both Washington and California would have to pass their own legislation, and Congress would have to approve the change, all within 10 years. But the uncertainty of which standard of time would win out, bringing Oregon with it, concerns Senator Kathleen Taylor. She voted no.
And during the summer, we enjoy those long summer nights. What I don't like is running the risk that we would give up permanent daylight savings time.
People have some opinions on this.
They certainly do. Here's a snapshot. Enrique Perez likes things just how they are.
Switching back and forth. I start really early in the morning, and if we don't change the times, it's going to look like I'm getting out of my house at midnight, so that won't be fun.
Do you have a preference? I definitely like getting more daylight towards the end of the day. It's nice to have some sunshine.
You get more sun in the summer anyway, so I don't think an extra hour will make a difference to me personally.
What this bill won't do is stop time. But on a day like this,
just enjoy the view. Look at this.
That might be nice.
It certainly would. The bill heads to the House floor next. Worth noting, none of this would apply to the part of Oregon that's on mountain time. That's most of Malheur County. Christine.
So many strong opinions on this. Okay, thank you, Catherine. Tonight, detectives say a man who sexually assaulted several women may be responsible for other attacks. They're looking for more potential victims. Washington County Sheriff's deputies arrested 22-year-old Jordan Byard today near Banks. He's been indicted on 21 counts, including rape, sexual abuse, and luring a minor, among others. Washington County investigators believe there are more victims who have not come forward. They want anyone with information on Byard to give them a call. Now to an update on a crash near Staten that left a young teen dead and 3 other minors injured. Today, we heard from the mother of 2 of the victims, who says she doesn't want the driver to ever get out of jail. This is a photo of Zolea Johnson on the left, her younger sister Zamora Miller on the right. Zolea was a junior at McNary High School and died when the car she was riding in flew off the road and crashed into a tree. Her sister Zamora remains in the hospital. Police say the driver, 33-year-old Christopher Atkinson, was going more than 100 miles an hour. They say he also admitted to buying alcohol for the minors, as well as drinking and smoking marijuana that day. Zolea's mom says her daughter loved to cook and had dreams of attending culinary school.
I got 2 babies that will never be the same. One I don't even have no more. He took them. I don't want that man to see the light of day. I want him to suffer and pay for what he took away from me.
Atkinson has been charged with manslaughter, assault, reckless driving, and giving alcohol to minors. A judge denied bail yesterday during his first court appearance. Now to a KGW investigation into an organization that helps provide affordable housing. Turns out the Portland nonprofit may be pushing people out, including a 78-year-old woman who's at risk of losing her longtime home. Investigative reporter Kyle Boshi explains.
On the corner of Southeast 38th and Clinton Street sits a little white house that Cheryl Oldham has called home for 53 years. These walls hold all kinds of memories. They fill picture frames, line the mantel, and cover an entire table.
It's all here.
Cheryl watched her kids grow up in this house, inch by inch.
Here's Rachel. Here's Ben. Here's Rachel. Here's Ben.
Then came grandkids.
It's been a wonderful place.
So after 5 decades here, you can only imagine the shock when Cheryl got a letter from her landlord warning the house may be sold. The 78-year-old fears she could be forced out.
I'm a senior, I'm disabled, and I just want to stay here.
Cheryl has rented this house in Southeast Portland since 1972. The property is owned by Reach Community Development. The Portland nonprofit develops and manages affordable apartments and homes, including what are called scattered site homes, like Cheryl's.
And so, like any renter, you would just write a check to Reach every month?
Yes. There was never a lease agreement or anything like that.
In a March 5th letter addressed to Cheryl and all others, Reach explained, rising costs, inflation, and high interest rates have made money problems worse.
Organizations like Reach that provide affordable housing really took it on the chin during COVID.
The nonprofit needs to balance its budget, explained Reach's CEO, Margaret Salazar.
We needed to generate some proceeds. And the way that we're looking to do that is to sell the scattered site properties.
Reach is looking to unload all 80 of its scattered site homes in Southeast Portland, focusing instead on larger scale multi-unit properties throughout the metro area.
What worries you most about the prospect of having to move?
Just losing my neighborhood and where am I going to go with my dog and my garden and all my plants? My plants are like part of me too. This whole place is part of me.
Reach says it's looking to sell to a mission-driven purchaser, committed to making the homes available to first-time buyers and existing Reach residents.
I want to remain here. I want to buy it and stay here because I feel like this is where I should be.
What opportunity will there be for current residents?
Yeah, current residents will have the first opportunity to purchase their homes, and we're looking at lining up resources to be able to assist residents to do that.
They never returned my call.
Cheryl's lawyer, who's a former neighbor, says the nonprofit Reach hasn't been responsive since sending that letter, leaving residents in the dark.
It's not a way to do business, really, particularly an organization that's supposed to be looking out for the interests of the public.
Reach says it's still in negotiations, so the nonprofit doesn't have all the details.
We're not going to cut and run, right? We are here, and our commitment is that we're going to stay with these residents and make sure that we're part of that conversion process.
For Cheryl, this uncertainty is creating a lot of stress. She can't imagine moving after 53 years in this house and so many memories.
It just feels like where I belong.
Reach says the soonest that a sale will occur is in June. The purchaser would then sell homes in phases over the next 2 years, with the first phase going on the market next fall. For those who can't afford to purchase their homes, Reach says it will provide relocation assistance, individual counseling, and priority placement in other Reach properties. Kyle Boshi, KGW News.